All right, so now let's explain the same thing we explained in the previous video, the rationale for the long-run equilibrium model, but by using two simple diagrams. One diagrams describe the market situation, and that's where the demand crosses a supply, and that's where you have your equilibrium quantity at the market level, say Q1, and also at that point is when you have your equilibrium market price of P1. And since this is a competitive industry, the typical firm will have no choice but to take that price from the market and try to do the best they can with that price by producing at a point in which that price crosses the firm marginal cost curve. So the typical firm in this industry, this competitive industry, will produce a Q1. Now, whether this is a short run or a long run situation, as we learned in the previous video, depends on whether the typical company is having profits or not. So let's assume for the time being that this company is having no profits. That will mean that the average total cost curve crosses the price curve and the marginal cost curve at the current price. So by making average total cost equals to price, we are assuming that this industry is in the long run equilibrium because there's no incentive for any companies to enter or exit the market because economic profits are zero. Now let's see what will happen in this industry if all of a sudden the demand for this product actually goes down, let's say here, to D prime. Well, at least in the short term, there was definitely going to be a lower quantity because the price for and the price of this product is also going to be lower than before. And that means that the typical firm in this industry will have to actually reduce the price of whatever they're selling. And since they have to produce where the price crosses the marginal cost curve, they will have to reduce the output in order to maximize their profits. Now the problem here is that now the price, as you see, the price is less than the average total cost. The average total cost is up here, and the price is down here. So this is a situation now, a short run situation, because now the price is less than the average total cost. And that means that the typical firm in this industry is having economic losses. So what will happen? Well, this is give an incentive to companies to exit this industry. And as more companies exit, that will drive the price up. And as long as the price is less than the average total cost, companies will continue to exit this industry. So what that means is that we will see companies exiting this industry until the supply is driven back to the reduction in the supply drives the price up to the initial point A, where we are back at the equilibrium point that we actually had already. This is the same curve here. Let's make it there. It's the same demand curve. So again, let's tell the story again. So originally we are at point A at Q1, and this is this is at A. Now the market is at equilibrium. There's no incentive for any other companies to enter or exit. Now from that point, the demand shift left to D prime, and that lowers the price in this industry, which means that the company now will have to charge a lower price, which forces a typical company to produce a lower output, Q2, and at that point, the typical company will have economic losses because the price is now less, P2 is less than the average total cost. So what happens is that companies will have to exit the industry because they're having losses, and they will continue to exit the industry until the price is driven back up to A, and we are back at the equilibrium level that we had before. Notice that at that point, we kind of lowered that. We have Q3 is the typical market. We have a lot less quantity in that market, which probably means that there's a lot less firms operating in that market than there were before, right? So this is both point A and let's call it C, which is equivalent to these 2 points in the market level. So at that point, at point C, there's a lot less number of firms operating in the market than what we had before. So I gave you the intuition without the graph. I gave you the graph, and now let's see how we can see the same thing by using some simple cost functions.